All right, so I'm going to talk about how to pick where to hunt and how to hunt. And I think the biggest thing is going to be how much time you have. So I guess you can kind of break it down into 3 different ways. One would be past knowledge. So if you have a spot that you have hunted before and you know is good, and you know it's good that time of season, that's one option. You can go to a spot that has been good to you, or you know that there have been deer in it in the past. So you got that option. So either one, you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of spots, or you've already hunted some of those spots and you've gone through them, and now what? So the next thing to do is kind of the mobile hunting, going in, looking for sign, and setting up, and looking at maps and things prior, and just kind of going in blind. So that's another option. And that's, better than just hunting the same spot if it's not happening. But also I feel like I've wasted a lot of time setting up in spots, just based on, tracks and runs and things like that. I feel like if you have the time to hop around and do that, you can be successful. But I would balance that with the third option, and that's going to be still hunting, I guess. So with that, it's not your traditional, take a step, look around, take a step, look around. You're going to be moving a little bit faster than that and just covering ground. And basically, you're trying to bump deer. Obviously, ideally, you're gonna, would be nice to sneak up on something and you can get a shot. But most importantly, you're just trying to find deer. And if you only have a Saturday to hunt, a couple hours in the morning or something like that, you can do a combination of things and set up, sit for the first hour or so, and then just start walking around. And if you don't have any good information, you should be trying to get as much out of your time as you can and learning as much as you can. So just picking a tree stand and sitting in it is not really going to give you the most information. Some spots are thick, you can't see. Some spots you just aren't productive, or maybe they weren't that day. But you're going to get just so much more out of moving through the woods and looking at different things. And I've been probably more successful doing that than anything else, just especially that first couple hours in the morning and the last hour or so of light. A lot of people that don't have a lot of time to hunt, I feel like will get out of work or whatever and go to a pre-hung tree stand, or go to kind of do a little bit of scouting and see some tracks, and just stop and sit. And I've got on a lot of deer just walking around, bumping something up, and then either remembering it for next year and using that as one of your first hunting styles. I talked about going in hunting a spot that you knew you saw deer in at that time of year, the next year, or even, you know, going back the next day or within a week and giving it a shot. But the biggest thing is just, I think, getting information, and the more ground you cover, the more information you're going to get. So if you don't have a lot of time, you know, you got to kind of be aggressive and make the most out of it. And a lot of that is just getting as much information as you can about where deer are. And I'm not a professional tracker or anything like that, so looking at sign, you know, I can guess that it looks fresh or whatever, but I mean, it could be fresh, but it could be, you know, not in shooting hours. So if you can move around and find where deer are, you know, by jumping them or seeing them, you're going to get a lot more, I think, value for your time by just going out and just slowly walking around. And, you know, you don't have to burn through the woods, but I'm covering ground, and I'm trying to kick up something or see something or get on something and at least give me an idea, because you'll be surprised how close you can get sometimes to deer without them, you know, immediately jumping up. A lot of times I feel like they want to hold tight, and a lot of the bigger deer and stuff like that too, they're in a spot for a reason, and if they get up and get bumped and get away, then they feel like, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing for them. It's the spot worked, they were safe, and they're probably going to be back there. So whether it's, you know, the next day or another week, you know, that there's really no nice answer to that, unfortunately, you know, when to go back. But sometimes you'll jump them up and you'll sit right back down, and within 5 minutes they'll be coming back down the same trail because they didn't even know what happened. So that's my advice. If you got limited time, you know, do a combination of the three things I said, and start balancing more just walking and hunting instead of just going in and setting up on sign. I think you're going to get a lot more out of just moving around a lot. And like I said, as you start getting spots and actually seeing deer and knowing where they are in shooting light, you know, you can rotate those spots in and go in the morning and, you know, try it the next year, or, you know, whatever, some different period of time later on. But yeah, that's it. I think you know, there's a lot with the tree stands and mobile hunting and all that, but for the guys that don't have the time, or are just starting out and don't have all the spots and have everything figured out, I think getting the information is more important than you know, just putting your time in sitting. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes I think it's frowned upon. People say you gotta sit still and stop moving around, and, you know, but you're only getting such a small window of like what's going on when you're just sitting in a tree stand. Same thing with trail cameras. I'm gonna do something about that. I don't run trail cameras, but I've had times where I'm in my stand, I see my trail camera out there, and if I was just going off the trail cam data, you know, I wouldn't get anything on there. And I go sit in my stand and I see 5 deer, and they're just, you know, here and there. They're not going in front of that camera. They could be on the other side of the tree or 60 yards away or whatever. So, you know, even trail cameras are no replacement for just walking through the woods and covering ground. So I hope that helps someone. Give it a shot, and like I said, just start thinking of those 3 ways to hunt, and maybe, you know, trying to get a balance, you know, more towards covering ground and staying on, you know, where deer actually are. And I put seeing deer as #1 priority, and then you know, sign and all that is secondary. So, but obviously when you're going, keep the wind in your face, and good luck. Thanks.